Hey everybody. Okay, so I'm going to be doing that reading things meme that I reblogged. First we have Two Lights Above the Sea, said read my favorite poem, Ars Poetica by Archibald MacLeish. Ars Poetica by Archibald MacLeish. A poem should be palpable and mute as a globed fruit, dumb as old medallions to the thumb, silent as the sleeve-worn stone of casement ledges where the moss has grown. A poem should be wordless. It's thundering. A poem should be wordless as the flight of birds. A poem should be motionless in time as the moon climbs, leaving as the moon releases, twig by twig, the night entangles trees, leaving as the moon behind the winter leaves, memory by memory, the mind. A poem should be motionless in time as the moon climbs. A poem should be equal to not true. For all the history of grief, an empty doorway and a maple leaf. For love, the leaning grasses, and two lights above the sea. A poem should not mean, but be. Now we have Screaming Crawfish, Rex, say way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Anonymous said, is something in German okay? Yes, it is. If so, Spanisch spreche ich mit Gott, Italienisch mit Frauen, Französisch mit Männern und Deutsch mit meinem Pferd. That means I speak Spanish with God, Italian with women, French with men, and German with my horse. My favorite poem, says Captoci, I don't know how to pronounce your URL, but regardless. This is kind of long, so I'm just going to do an excerpt from the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, and I'm going to skip the prologue thing because I don't speak Italian, but... Let us go, then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky like a patient etherized upon a table. Let us go through certain half-deserted streets, the muttering retreats of restless nights and one-night cheap hotels and sawdust restaurants with oyster shells. Streets that follow like a tedious argument of insidious intent to lead you to an overwhelming question. Oh, do not ask what is it. Let us go and make our visit. That's enough of that for right now. Thank you, Captosi. Bia, Leah, said, E. Cummings, if everything happens that can't be done, it's not too long, so I'm going to do it. Nothing is too long. If everything happens that can't be done, and anything's righter than books could plan, the stupidest teacher will almost guess with a run, skip, around we go, yes, there's nothing as something as one. One hasn't a why or because or although, and buds no better than books don't grow. One's anything old, being everything new. With a what, which, around we come, who. One's every any is so. So world is a leaf, so a tree is a bough, and birds sing sweeter than books tell how. So here is a way, so your is a my, with a down, up, around again fly. Forever was never till now. Now I love you, and you love me, and books are shorter than books can be. And deep in the high that does nothing but fall, with a shout each around we go all, there's somebody calling who's we. We're anything brighter than even the sun. We're everything greater than books might mean. We're ever anything more than believe. With a spin leap alive, we're alive. We're wonderful, 1 times 1. Captosi again said, or the intro of the first episode of Welcome to Night Vale, if you can't choose between your favorites. That's quite alright. Alright. Episode 1, Pilot. A friendly desert community, where the sun is hot, the moon is beautiful, and mysterious lights pass overhead while we all pretend to sleep. Welcome to Night Vale. Hello, listeners. To start things off, I've been asked to read this brief notice. The City Council announces the opening of a new dog park at the corner of Earl and Somerset near the Ralphs. They would like to remind everyone that dogs are not allowed in the dog park. People are not allowed in the dog park. It is possible you will see hooded figures in the dog park. Do not approach them. Do not approach the dog park. The fence is electrified and highly dangerous. Try not to look at the dog park, and especially do not look for any period of time at the hooded figures. The dog park will not harm you. Pie Salt and Scars said, "Ooh, how about, that's rough, buddy," or, yes, twice in a drawn-out tone with increasing excitement and or intensity, as though you've just received a package, and you think you know what it is, and then you open it, and it is exactly what you hoped it would be, and you're so pumped. Okay, so first of all, that's rough, buddy. And then, yes! Yes! Okay, I'm gonna quit. Oh, I got a new one. Shoot. I hope it's not asking for a poem, because... Talk about the ocean, says Anonymous. The ocean is wide, obviously, and it's expansive, and there's everything in it that you could possibly imagine. Trees are in the ocean, indeed. Forests, really, kelp forests. There's fish and sharks, and the waves roll overhead, or sometimes below if you're above the ocean, on the ocean, as it were. And there's ice in the ocean, and sand, and life, and all sorts of death. I think I mentioned fish, but there's a lot of fish. There's other things too, but fish are more important than the other things. Sometimes, if the weather's right and the sky is clear, you can see the moon in the ocean, or the stars if it's very flat. But more often, it's choppy, so you can really only see the clouds most of the time, or the sky, or the sun. That's much easier than seeing the stars. There's ships in the ocean, on the ocean as well. Yes, the ocean is really large and beautiful and exciting, and it smells. But that's okay, because, you know, we all smell, don't we? Okay, so that's all. Farewell.